of MTN Ghana, Stephen Plewet. I hope I got it right. I don't want to butcher anybody's name. Okay, there is a quick announcement I need to make. A car with the number plate GM1543-12. GM1543-12. Please, your car is blocking someone else's at the entrance and needs to be moved immediately. Okay, so moving on, we are going to watch another video from one of our partners, Song Taba. Media team, over to you. To acknowledge them. Thank you very much, Song Taba. Moving on, we would invite Madam Georgina Asari Fiagbenu, who is the chairperson, to introduce the guest speaker. Madam Georgina Asari Fiagbenu, our chairperson for today's program, she will be introducing our guest speaker to us right about now. A round of applause as she takes over.
Do you want to keep clapping? Are you tired? Are you tired? No, okay. You are tired? No, okay. So, you are not. Okay. So, let's all be on our feet. You've been sitting for a while. So, let's be up. We've gotten to the climax of our activity today. And so you have to energize yourself. You've heard a lot today. And so before you listen to the final one, which is coming from our special guest of honor, I want us to go over, is it Gloria? Gloria did a lot of action things in there. Gloria, please come. Let's bring back Gloria with a clap. I want her to do her action now, because it's as if you are tired and hungry, you will listen to the last one, but you still have a lot of energy. And I see thousands of beautiful faces here. So, Gloria, ginger them a little, and then I'll come in and do my introduction. Don't sit. You've been sitting for a few hours, so keep standing for a few minutes more, okay? So let's do our action.
So youth, are you here? You sit down. Youth, are you here? Youth! Youth! Action! Action! Action!
Another one.
Youth. It's like this time round, we are becoming down. Is it the weather? Please shout as loud as possible. Youth. Youth. Action. Action. Action.
That's very good. And let's continue with our wow moment, because the person who is coming is very wow. So let's do our wow. 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 Let's do the last one and then we can take our seats and listen. Let's start. Wow. 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 Excellent, excellent. Please take your seats. So we are gradually rounding up. It's not my turn to come and close the session, but I thought it's important for me to come and introduce our special guest of honor, considering the effort she has to make to get here today. And I want all of you to be very attentive. You've been very attentive so far, so just give us a few minutes. So our special guest of honor, if any of you Googled her or you asked ChatGPT or any of the AI tools, I'm sure you would have known who we have here today. She's a trailblazing business leader. Actually, she's an international business leader who is breaking barriers and redefining industry norms. She's one of Africa's leading award-winning women in finance and telecommunications. You know, women don't like to do finance and telecoms or ICT. But she is one of the leaders in finance and telecommunications, having spent 12 years of her 24-year career as Chief Finance Officer for two of Africa's business multinational companies, ABSA and MTN. Let's clap for that. She has over 24 years of experience working with multinational companies in the United Kingdom and Africa. And her expertise is in banking. She's done telecommunications, as she's doing now, healthcare, consulting, and insurance. And her influence extends beyond the confines of her executive role. She's here today because she's also interested in youth development. I'm going to cut her profile short. But just to mention that as a non-executive director, she's chaired very crucial committees in finance, audit, investment subcommittees. She actually travels around the world with our CEO, speaking to investors and talking to them about why they need to continue investing in MTN. She is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, a Chartered Global Management Accountant, and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana, CA Ghana. She is an alumna of the University of Ghana, and she did agricultural economics. I hope you are listening. She did agricultural economics, but you've heard all the things she's done in banking and telecoms. So she has a lot to come and talk to us about. For me, as a woman, I'm very proud of her, especially because she's a powerful advocate for gender parity and women's empowerment. She's the executive member, she's an executive member of the Executive Women's Network. And in MTN Ghana, she is the president of the Yellow Ladies Network, which is our women's network that she led and caused us to set that up. So my young, should I say brothers and sisters, or ladies and gentlemen, powerful young leaders of the northern region, and all the secondary schools that are gathered here. I was disappointed that when the roll call was being done, you were not shouting. You have to let everybody know that your school is here and you are proud of them. But I'm very proud of our Chief Finance Officer, and that is why I decided to come up myself to introduce her. So let's, with a round of another wow, be up on our feet as we start our wow. Let's go. Wow. 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 Let's do it one more time as she comes. Excellent, excellent.
Hello. I need some energy up here. I'm not feeling very well, so if you don't give me energy, I might delay you and you might not get to lunch quickly. And I know you want to eat lunch, right? Okay, please sit down. So before I start talking, I'd like to say, today we celebrate 10 years of the Youth Empowerment Summit. As someone would say, what a wow. Martha, I'm so proud of you and what you've done and how far you've come. Well done. It takes a lot to start something, to keep at it, and to bring it this far. Sometimes you don't always see the rewards, and so you have to motivate yourself and keep going. She's had 10 years of inspiring young people, empowering them to rise, to learn, and to break barriers and lead. This milestone proves that when the youth are empowered, communities can be transformed. I want to challenge you all today. What will we be celebrating in the next 10 years? I'm sure Martha will be having a 20th anniversary. But what will you be celebrating in the next 10 years? It depends on what you decide to do with your future starting now. It's easy to be inspired when you sit in a room like this and you hear all the powerful speakers who have come and gone. But how about when you walk out of here? When you go to bed and you wake up tomorrow morning and the inspiration dies a little bit. Another morning, then you forget some of what was said. A third morning, then you forgot everything that you heard. I'd like each and every one of you to take an action today. What do you want to see in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? What do you want to see? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? We've heard a lot said about legacies. And I'll bring you a quote from Maya Angelou where she says, if you are going to live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that cannot be erased. Many people come and go. What do we remember them by? If our lives on earth are supposed to just be passing through, then why do we live? Each of us has to make a mark on the world before we live. And so, what impact will you have? What impact will you leave behind? What legacy will you leave behind? And by the time we leave today, I want each of you to purpose in your heart what you're going to do differently. What do I have to tell you today? I think 2 years ago, I joined you virtually. Maybe not everyone here today was here that day. I'll encourage you to dream big and set audacious goals. You should dare to dream, because dreams do come true. But you only dream if you are willing to put in the work to achieve that dream. Once upon a time, I had a dream. I had a dream to break a barrier and set new norms that will create a role model for others to follow. I sat in my office and I said, I'll be the first at something. And I said it very flippantly. But then I thought, what can I be first at? And I took certain steps in my life to see how I would make that dream come true. Today, I'm the first Ghanaian and the first female CFO for MTN Ghana. Before I took the role, no woman had ever taken. Actually, after taking the role, I understand why. But you know, we are capable of so much as people, and we tend to underestimate what we can do. But if you dream big and you set goals and go about taking steps to achieve those goals, believe you me, dreams do come true. But it is not the kind of dream that you go to bed, you snore through, and then you wake up the following morning. That one, it won't come true. It's about waking up every day, dedicated to a purpose, to a goal, and taking the steps to reach that. And then you've got to break barriers, and you've got to believe in yourself. You can break through any limitations. Don't let society or other people define what your destiny should be. I got bored of my profile, but one thing Gina said made me say, made me think I should mention this. I started off as a science student. I did O-level science, A-level science. I entered university and I was admitted to a pre-med program. But by the time university opened, I had decided I wasn't going to do it. And I was very confused. I said, oh, I want to do banking and finance. And I heard as a science student, if you go through agricultural economics, you can end up in banking and finance. So I went to do banking and finance. Please don't treat your subject choices like that too. Well, by the time I finished agricultural and economics after 3 years in Legon, I learned that doing agricultural economics on its own will not get you into banking and finance. There are other things you have to do. So I went to work in an accounting practice to learn finance, the basics of finance, Finance 101, which I hadn't done in school. I had never done business. The thought of business studies was a barrier in my mind. But one thing my mother always told me when I was growing up is, barriers are meant to be broken. And so I applied myself, I dedicated myself, I worked hard, I studied. And it's not like it was easy. Learning accounting, I failed a few papers, but I resat them and I got through. And you know what? I'd like to say I'm one of the finest accountants I know, even though I say it myself. I believed in myself. So you should always believe in yourself when you purpose to do something. Do not lose the sight of education as a foundation of freedom. It opens doors for you. And education, it can be formal education, it can be skills education. Educate yourself. Wherever you find yourself, educate yourself. Learn from whoever you meet. Learn from whichever situation you find yourself in. And you know, the youth, we keep saying the youth are our future, but the youth are also our present. Africa has the fastest growing youth population in the world. and it also has the fastest growing digital economy. The digital economy is real. We heard Ebenezer speak to us about the MTN Digital Skills Academy. Take advantage of it. Learn new skills. You should think about not just finding a job. About 25 years ago, somebody asked me a question. Are you looking for a job or are you looking for a career? And that question changed my life. Today, I want to plant a seed in your mind. When you are done studying, would you be looking for a job? Would you be seeking to start a career? Or will you be starting a business? That is what digital skills grants you. You can start a business and you can empower communities. See a problem, find a solution, impact lives. We sit here today. How many of us have heard about Uber? How many of us have heard about Uber? How many of us have used Uber? Do you know how Uber came about? Two American guys were in Paris, went for a party. They finished late on a winter night, and they were looking for a taxi. They couldn't find one. And then an idea occurred to them. What if I could order a taxi on my phone? So they went back to their country. They used their digital, and now there are so many AI tools. My son says, why do we go to school, mommy, these days? Everything is on ChatGPT. And I said, there's a lot of false information too on ChatGPT. That's why you go to school. But they researched and they started Uber. Today, Uber is used in several countries around the world. So you can sit here in Tamale and you can have a product that you can market globally because of digital skills and education. So empower yourself. It brings about financial independence. Let me do a short quiz. What is the opposite of up? Down. Okay. What is the opposite of black? Okay. What is the opposite of success? Actually, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is actually a part of success. I have failed many times in my life. But what I've also learned is that the biggest lessons I've learned have come from some of those failures. No one can ever say they are successful if they've never failed at anything. My mother used to tell me that failure doesn't exist. And I said, what do you mean by that? She said, because when you fail, you actually learn something. So she said, don't dwell on failure on its own, because you either win or you learn. And if you think about it like that, every failure you go through, you see it as an opportunity to learn something you didn't know. That's not to say when you go to school, don't learn and fail your subject. So, huh? Are you hearing me? But in life, there are many situations that you come across that don't necessarily go your way. When I sat in secondary school like you, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. I'm not a doctor today. Does it mean I failed? I have found success in other ways and in other things. And so I want you to think of failure as a step to success. And those of you sitting in this room today, you are potential role models to your communities. and to the people who are not in this room. Once again, I ask you, at the 20th anniversary of the Youth Empowerment Summit, would one of you be standing here inspiring others? That wasn't strong enough. In 10 years, can I challenge people in this room to be standing on this podium speaking to other people in this room? You have to own your voice. We've heard that said. And you have to own your value. I realize that we live in a world and a time today where everything is about speed. But I've also learned in my many decades in life that there are no shortcuts in life. And so, what I would say is that whatever you do, wherever you find yourself, get depth, get understanding. Because when you do, you can leapfrog many levels. You can actually advance faster than you would have if you had gone step by step. Do not underestimate the lessons you learn at this stage of your life. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you start. It's about how you get on, how you move on, how hard you work, what you put in. That is what will change your future and the future of the generations that come after you. So, if you want to see real lasting growth, you should embrace learning. You should embrace the process of understanding what goes on around you. And prepare for the opportunities when they come. I always say that time and chance will always meet opportunity. The opportunities that will be your breakthroughs, you don't know about today. But you can prepare for them whilst you wait. At a point in my career, I knew I wanted to be a CFO. But I knew I didn't have everything I needed to be a CFO. I was working in management accounting, and from my profile, you realize that I'm trained as a management accountant. I knew I needed to do a bit more financial accounting. So I asked for an opportunity to work in financial accounting. It wasn't a promotion. It was a lateral move. So I exchanged with a colleague. Then a short while later, the person doing that job actually left the organization. So guess who they asked to come and do that job? Guess who? Yes. Because I had prepared by taking that opportunity. And then after I'd done that job for about 6 months, our CFO was asked to act as managing director. And then she looked in her team. Which member of her team had done both financial accounting and management accounting? Me. And she asked me to act as CFO. So you see, I could have been working for years to get to CFO. But by preparing myself, when the opportunity became available, I was able to leapfrog others who perhaps had done one thing for a long time. And that was my first foray into CFO-ship. Today, I've been a CFO for over 12 years. So do not wait to see the rains falling before you get out your umbrella. If you know we are in the rainy season, when you are leaving home, take your umbrella along. So that when the heavens open and the rains pour down, you're ready with your umbrella. So prepare. And how do you prepare? You learn, you get experience, you get the skills, and you prepare yourself for the opportunities that you would want to take advantage of. Your best life is ahead of you. And I'll tell you what I wish somebody had told me when I sat in rooms at your age. Enjoy the journey. And when I say enjoy the journey, it's not just about partying, party after party after party. No. It means pause and appreciate the times and people in your life. Pause and enjoy being a child, a teenager, a youth. I find when I meet young people, they're always in a hurry to grow up. And actually, I think I was that way too. I wanted to grow up, to earn my own money, to buy what I want to buy, so that I won't go to the market and tell mommy I want Cerelac. She says, no, you need Cerelac. You buy Gary. But you know, hindsight is a beautiful thing, like they say. Enjoy the time you are in, because there's a time for everything. And stay true to yourself. I always tell this story that when I was going to Form 1, many years ago, my mother packed me off with my trunk and chobox and 2 words. She said, know thyself. She said, know where you are coming from. Do not ever forget your background and the lessons that you've been taught at home. Don't go to school, find friends doing this and say, me too, I want to do this. Don't lose you due to the pressures of the world around you. Remember who you are at the core and stay true to that. It will be your guiding light through life. And take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't do all the things that you know are not good for you. And I know when you are in school, there's a lot of pressure to do all kinds of things. Don't fall prey to some of those things. There are people I went to school with. There are people who were smarter than I was in school. And today, they are nowhere to be found because of the choices they made. The choices you make today will shape your future and determine where and how your life pans out. So please make the right choices. Above all, give God a chance to lead you. I know there are Muslims here and there are Christians here. Believe in something. Believe in someone. And let who you believe in lead you. Because our inner moral compass, nothing can replace our inner moral compass except we ourselves. It is easy for you to shut down your inner moral compass. And when you shut it down a few times, it doesn't speak again. But that is how you go astray. So know thyself and keep true to yourself. Today we celebrate 10 years of empowerment. Let us look to the next 10 years. What story will you write for yourself in these next 10 years? What impact will you leave for your family, your community, and your country? Ghana depends on you. I sit down sometimes and I wonder, what will Ghana look like in 10, 20 years? Many of us have done our bit. Maybe we have a bit more to do. But what shapes Ghana's future? What puts us on the world map? And what sets us up to compete with the rest of the world? It's in this room. What difference will you make? What impact will you make? I want you all to stand with me. I want you to say something after me. I want you to finish stretching so that you can say what I'm going to say with vim. I want you to say, I am worthy. And say it like you believe it. I am worthy. I am capable. My purpose is to be impactful. I am here to make my world better. I will put Ghana on the map for the right reasons. And that is my call to action for you today. Thank you for listening to me.
Please, we can do better. Indeed, barriers are meant to be broken, and failure is a part of success. Inspirational words from Madame Antoinette Kofi, the CFO and Executive Director of MTN Ghana, the first ever female, first ever Ghanaian to hold that role. We are greatly blessed by your presence, ma'am. All right, so moving on, we are going to have some more acknowledgements. I quickly want to acknowledge the presence of Madam Hajia Alima Sajito Said, the Executive Director for Swida Ghana. She spoke to us earlier today. And then Hajia Lamnatu Adam, the Executive Director for Songtapa. Kwapong, he is the Vice Principal, and Mr. Felix Pedra, the Finance Manager. Let's clap for them before I continue. Then from Majesty Ghana Limited, I want to acknowledge Mr. Felix Sangte, CEO for Majesty Galaxy Limited. And then Mr. Noah Johnson Ananga, the Branch Manager. Mr. Jamal Dimbie, Operations Manager. And then Madam Belinda Yeboah, Customer Services. Let's clap for them as well. Not forgetting our lead sponsor, MTN Ghana, supported by Twisco, Savannah Opticals and Eye Care, Majesty Galaxy Travel and Tour, Bell Beverages, BB Events, Sports Water by Verna, Chasna Mineral Water, Days Fashion, Excellent Touch Medical Services, Piva Beverages, Savannah International Academy, Child Dream Foundation Schools, and Glow Events. Also, not forgetting our lead partner, the National Youth Authority. I also want to acknowledge the presence of students from the Baga Baga College of Education. If you are here, let us see you. Batco, okay, we see you and we appreciate your presence here. And then also from the UDS Parliament, can we see you? Are you here? Northern Youth Parliament, are you here? Okay, we appreciate your presence here. And we want you to also know that outside there are some vendors, okay? E-Class Foods is here. Girls Farm Hub, if you want some date syrups, they are outside. LinkedIn Enterprise, Fabric Plus Enterprise, Mafada Enterprise, Glam Skincare and Jewelry, Miglat Collection. So if you want tote bags, if you want skincare, if you want some food, some snacks, they are out there and ready to serve you. Our supporting partners as well, Pure Ed Ghana, Swida Ghana, We Not, Bayani, Feed Ghana, Songtaba, Girl to Women Foundation, the Northern Girl Initiative, Basha One Foundation, Thrive Nest, Women Arise Conference, NORSAC, the Assistance Hub, Women Support and Activist Group, Glory's Care Foundation, One Valley Ghana. Thank you very much. Handing over to my co-MC, the CEO, Executive Director.
All right, so right about now, we'll get straight to the next item. We'll be inviting onto the podium Hajia Lamnatu Adam, Executive Director for Santaba, to have a word with us. After I hear some of you students have a few questions, so we'll give some room for that briefly. But let's welcome Hajia as she mounts the podium. You can do much better, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. It's afternoon, good afternoon to us all. I acknowledge the presence of my board chairperson, Madam Mariama Mahama. She's duly represented. Our guest speaker, Madam Georgina. We are proud of your achievement. All the others who have spoken, my colleagues, civil society partners, our students, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Songtaba is a Dagbanu word which means helping each other. And for this name, everywhere we go, we've seen some amount of help that goes through. And as a women's rights organization, we are also a youth-serving organization. And our only bias is that we prioritize working with girls, women, persons with disability, and the underserved populations. And so I wish to also congratulate Martha. Martha, well done, congratulations. It's not easy pulling an event like this for 10 years. Well done, we are proud of your achievement. As an organization, actually, each year, we try our best to support Martha Inspire Foundation to hold this event. And we are happy to be part of the sponsors for this year as well. Young people, a lot have been said to you, but I just have few more words for you. If our voice must be heard, we must see how we say it first. And as somebody who interfaces with young people all the time, I see many a time you are challenged with an issue and then you keep quiet about it. Yes, I understand. Probably because of our social orientation, especially for girls, when we are said that when elders are talking, we keep quiet, even if that doesn't make us happy. Today, we have learned that we have to challenge ourselves to speak up. By challenging ourselves, it may not just be you. It could be somebody else who is having challenges. What you need to do is to support the person to talk. And I get worried today because years ago, we're told the future is for young people tomorrow. But the tomorrow has come today. So the future is no longer about young people. It is now. So say, our future is now. Our future is now. Yes, because your now, if you don't make good use of your now, your future will be worse. Today, young people, the biggest issue we have is drugs. I know this is not the forum for drugs, but as a mother, I cannot step out here. As somebody who engages young people, I cannot step up here without telling you that we need to desist from it. Let us not get pressurized by our colleagues. And we know our colleagues, those who are with the drugs, let's help them. Don't say that it is not me, it's just she is doing it or he is doing it. Because in future, you look up to your friend. If he's not in a good shape, you can't look back. The small earnings you have to support your friend, your sister with it. And so as young people, this is from drugs. Let us take our education serious. Let us plan our lessons. There's always time to rest, but let's also plan our sessions such that we take our studies seriously. I do not want to waste much of your time, but I want to say that if we recognize that our future is now, then we have to work towards it. Thank you very much.
believe you can do much better with the applause.
Okay. So I quickly want to acknowledge the presence of Madam Mariam Mahama, the principal for Dabopa Technical School. Madam, thank you for your presence here. And another quick announcement, Bell Beverages, they are outside and they are saying that under the 7-star canopy, they have free samples for you. So they free drinks. We all like free food. So please, right from here, you go get a free drink for yourself. So over to you, co-MC, to take the questions. Yes, after the program, not now. Please relax.
Not now, please.
After the program.
You will not be served if you should go there now. Until we are done, please. And please let's minimize the movement in the auditorium as well. Thank you. So once again, we want to say a big thank you to Madam Antoinette Kofi for that insightful conversation she had with us, and also letting us have a very good understanding of some practicalities in life. So we'll get straight with some questions and answers. We'll just want 4 people, line up here. Let's do it real quick, and then we can facilitate the program real quick. We are behind time. If not, we'll just move on. If the choreography team is now set, we'll then make it fast and then have the choreography.
Please, if you have a question.
Real quickly. Please just line up. About 3 people, just come forward here. Let's do that real quick. Please, the team choreography, be getting ready so that we take that way. All right, so thank you.
Yeah. I have 3 sets of questions here. Yes, I'm going to read all. All right. The first one, what are the most common challenges the youth faces when trying to turn their ideas into actionable projects? And how can they overcome them? 1.
Okay. Sir, please hold on. Please, when you come to ask a question, kindly state who or which of the speakers you are directing the question to.
One of the questions, the CEO who left, the politician, I wanted to, but unfortunately he's gone. So I don't even know whether.
So ask the ones directed to the
Okay, then Mama CFO. What success story or case study can you share that demonstrates youth-led change, making a significant difference? Youth-led change, making a significant difference. This question, I don't even know whom to direct to. Okay, I think these 2 questions are okay. The man is gone, so I will drop that.
My question too was directed to the NYA director, but he's not around. I don't know if we can still ask.
Have you asked the question?
It was also directed to
All right, so that's okay. Please, the very last one, then we call it a wrap.
My question is directed to Mr.
Madam Antoinette Kofi.
Yes. Please, I think in your speech you were talking about like there was a youth protest in Kenya, I think last year. Oh. And I wanted to say that like the youth have the power to make protests and stuff, but at what cost? Because the protests that happened in Kenya, there were 3 young lives lost. So how sure are we that if we put our voices out there, we are not putting ourselves in danger?
Thank you.
Okay, so there are rules or laws governing demonstrations in Ghana according to the 1992 Constitution. So like I already mentioned that you have to gain knowledge. So before you want to do something like demonstration, you have to go through the 1992 Constitution and know what the Constitution says about demonstration. When you look at what happened in Kenya, their lives were lost as a result of violence. And when you read the Constitution doesn't support violence. That's why anytime you have to do demonstration, you speak to the government or you alert the Ghana Police Service that this is what you are going to do. They can in no way stop you from doing it, but then they will be there to protect you. The only thing that comes with demonstrations is that sometimes we, the young people, get frustrated and start to fight the policemen. And you know that when you start to fight, they will defend. And that's where the violence starts from. So you have to read the Constitution, know what you are going to do, and go by the Constitution. Once you go against it, there will be violence.
All right, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you. I think you asked a question around what the challenges young people face. I believe a big challenge will be resources. Okay? But I also know that there are foundations and other companies that can actually, if your idea is good enough, that can actually put resources behind it. And also, I think historically we grew up in a culture where everything was about one person, me. And I think that prevented a lot of innovative ideas from flourishing. I think if people come together, you are able to explore different ways of doing things that could perhaps help you to get resource support from companies and foundations. Like the MasterCard Foundation, it supports a lot of youth projects, SME projects, women's projects, etc. But yes, resources tends to be the biggest challenge. Also, starting something, it does not have to be something that you need 1 million cedis for. So I have a friend who was a banker. She's quit banking now. And she lives in Accra, but she's always in the north now. She goes around buying share from farmers here. And she exports it. So if you live in the north, you have the land, or you have access to land, you have access to the produce, etc. And you have the digital skills to market this on the end. So don't use all your time on the internet doing TikTok. Or when you go to TikTok, don't let it all be watching short, funny. Okay. Now, the digital ecosystem has created a global marketplace. And you can use things that you can start with little resources and grow over the period. There's nothing to stop cola bean markets being farmed here in Tamale from appearing on a grocery store or a grocery shelf in the US, in Australia, etc. We've got to start somewhere and find the support to continue. And I think he had another question on an example of, yeah, I know the Uber thing was not here, but there were 2 young men, they were students who traveled, okay, and they experienced that, and they put together an app. Now, I know a lot of young people who have set up apps either as fintechs or actually Express Pay. I don't know how many of you know about Express Pay. It's a digital ecosystem. You can use card, you can use Momo, and they've been incorporated into a number of vendors and sellers have put it as part of their e-commerce, and they take payment. It was designed by 2 young people. They had gone to school abroad, they came back to Ghana, and they played around with the app, and they kept developing it. And now, Express Pay is available to all Ghanaians, even when they are outside the country. So we have a lot of these apps that are coming up, that are being use and that are being championed by young people. So yes, there's a lot of evidence of young people starting businesses and it making real change. Thank you.
Thank you also, madam. So up next, straight, we'll invite onto the podium Fire Kids to help us with a very beautiful, colorful choreography. Let's welcome them with a round of applause. I believe you can do better as they mount the stage. Thank you.
Lord, you set the table before me in the sight of my enemy. In the sight of them all. Your body show. Come and see. Everything they work for me. That you order my steps for me. That you they hold my destiny. Oh my Lord. By your goodness and mercy, I am standing out. I'm on top of the mountain, far above the clouds. You carry me, you carry me. And when they try to find me, to realize you are taking me far away, very, very far away. Lord, your hand is on my head, Lord, your hand is on my head, Lord, you're promoting me far away, very, very far away. Lord, your hand is on my head, Lord, your hand is on my head. I'm on a roller coaster, your grace is on my head. When I promise to roll down, I'm standing on your end. You exalt my heart for the whole wide world to see. Hey, 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 hey. Baby, you give me two pass, you clear the road ahead, pressing on to the prize. No matter what the devil said, and you hide me under the shadow of your wing. They can't see me. See us we come out, the blessing they love will return on. I go follow your every command. I know say blessing in your hand. My people, you must to understand. My Jesus, the way you know this time. It's not for you, it's to expand. It's not for you, it's to expand. Hey. By your goodness and mercy, I am standing up. I'm on top of the mountain, far above the clouds. You carry me, you carry me. And when they try to find me, you realize you are taking me far.